Welcome to Star Wars episode. Oh my God, Star Wars Culture Live episode 34. I messed that up. It's 3 seconds into the episode. A fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection. Your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. As always, I am Ian, and as always, this is Marty, and this is where the fun begins. Instead of the negativity you often find on the Star Wars side of the internet, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, community, the culture, the fans, the media, anything at all. So, as you're watching or as you're listening, if you have anything for us, reactions, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials at SW Culture Live everywhere except Facebook. Facebook is weird. If you're watching us on Facebook, you already know the deal there. One announcement, we are not going to have an episode next week. We are, I believe Marty is going to go on a little vacation. So that sounds awesome. Hope you have a good time there. And I will be at my kids' theater event. So that's exciting for both of us. There's no beach where I'm going, but that's okay. I'll be all right. Yeah, so that's the announcement. But as usual, we're going to start with quick fun facts about each host to help you get to know us a little bit better each episode. So I am supposed to go first, but my fun fact is over there. So Marty, can you go first real quick while I go fetch that?
All right. Okay.
I did see your message. I didn't grab it before we started the stream. Sorry.
It's all right. I didn't want to kill the thunder with it, but I know what Shores is. So I know what Shores is. So I would be like, I have something.
All right, no. If you had the plan, let's go with the plan. You have to entertain them for 10 seconds while I do this.
Okay. So today's episode is, well, unfortunately not sponsored by anybody. Hopefully we get a sponsor. I would love to be sponsored of anything. If anyone knows how to do that, that would be awesome.
All right, I'm back. I got it. Nailed it.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome. My fun fact is that occasionally for my brand, the at Nerdiest Stepdad, occasionally I have a brand deal with certain saber companies or companies that do, I don't know, Star Wars clothes or Star Wars props, or I have some with the Sabak suppliers. But the latest one that just came in the mail a couple weeks ago was the Kylo Ren saber, and I am super psyched about this. It's a really cool one. It's cool. I really like how they're sharp and spiky and not like the rounded tip. It just makes it look so like I almost stabbed myself there, but yeah, I'm it's just sitting up on top of my piano right now because I'm so excited about it.
It looks kind of heavy too.
Oh my God, it's so heavy. Like if I try and do like the normal moves that I do with my other lightsabers, like my arm gets so tired. It's so heavy. There's so much metal in there, and you have to have like all the extra machinery to set those extra lights up. Yeah, it's hefty.
Makes you feel a little bit a little certain different way about Adam Driver when he has to use his. I'm sure that's kind of about
I know, right?
Of it too.
He's a Marine. He'll be fine.
Right, especially when he tosses it up and catches it underhanded. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to go first because I too, it hasn't been too recently, but I just thought it was funny. It's like you got a Kylo Ren lightsaber. I was like, okay, I want to show off one that I bought.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's great.
It's one of those, you flick your wrist.
Oh yeah,
it pops out.
Like nice the target things.
Yeah, this one I think it's meant to be like one of those Build-A-Sabers. So if you wanted to, you can pop on something cool. At the bottom, have something. I like that's pretty neat. But I kind of like what it was here. I got it on eBay, $5 or something like that, kind of cheap. because unfortunately I don't have a great deal like you do with your channel.
No, that is I am quite fortunate to have that. I'm very lucky that they want me making videos about their products. That's pretty cool. Right now it's Select a Saber. Nice. What'd you say?
I said, is any way to get their product out? They'll use any
dedicated
influencer.
Again, I am lucky. I have people liked a lot of my D&D videos and some of the Star Wars stuff. Like I think I had one go viral where it was my baby had just started to crawl or walk, and she was like choosing her lightsaber, and so I went kind of viral with that, a few million views. So then with hey, do it with our saber, and so anyway, yeah. So that was a fun Kylo Ren saber fun fact for today. But we're gonna now move on to our first segment, which is the HoloNet News. So I'll pull this up here. I get my Star Wars news from Star Wars Underworld. Their Instagram just has photos and highlights of the top news stories each week. So I'm going to start off. Rian Johnson addressed the status of his Star Wars trilogy in an interview with The Independent. Basically, he just he went down the murder mystery rabbit hole and started working on Knives Out. He said, "I'm focused on making other stuff, but he wouldn't rule it out happening down the line. He wouldn't rule out it happening that's the quote. Why does that still bother me? The grammar of it still whatever. Anyway, if I get back in the Star Wars universe someday, I'd be the happiest person. So it's not in the works directly right now, but maybe down the line. What else? Yeah, we talked about Fortnite Mando things coming out next week. They came out. They're amazing. I've seen a bunch of them. And I didn't get it because I needed to buy Darth Jar Jar. So that's where I spent my V-Bucks. But you can customize your Mando style with all kinds of colors and patterns and logos and designs. Even different like types of armor. Like you can do like different shoulder pad or like pauldrons and different chest plates and stuff. Looks really cool. But yeah, so that's going on in Fortnite. According to Variety, Disney Plus has officially submitted Andor for Emmy consideration in 23 different categories. I hope it wins a good deal of those because it's just awesome.
I'll have to agree with Funko Pop 360. It's like, and it'll win.
It better win all 23 of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and like that little comment there. They deserve it. The show was just epic. Agree. What? Disagree with that last comment. What the hell? Who are you? Concept sketch for unproduced episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and Tales of the Underworld, episode 1, A Way Forward, and we saw that shot at the beginning. Spoiler alert, I guess. Ryan Reynolds, speaking on the Box Office podcast, says, I pitched it to Disney. I said, why don't we do an R-rated Star Wars property? It doesn't have to be overt A+ characters. There's a wide range of characters you could use, and I don't mean R-rated to be vulgar. R-rated as a Trojan horse for emotion. I'm not saying I want to be in it. That would be a bad fit. I'd want to produce and write or be a part of behind the scenes. Trivia question for you, Trivia Master. What movie is that photo from right there?
What is it? Blanking on the movie name, but I know where.
I know it's
where he's in the video game world.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. You're so close. You know how that always helps people think of the answer,
right?
It's called Free Guy.
Free Guy. I knew it was something
Free
Guy.
Yeah.
It's not the. I was thinking the other guys, but I was like, that's other guys. That's Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. It's a different movie.
Yeah, that's a different thing. But yeah, he pulls out a Captain America shield. He pulls out a lightsaber. It's a fun movie.
I will say though, I feel like I see what he's trying to say. It's like I don't want it to be like Deadpool, R-rated, where it's just like over the top, goofy rated R. I'm thinking more like he's probably thinking like Saving Private Ryan or something. kind of
Yeah.
R-rated.
Yeah, like even Andor, like serious and just further in the I don't know, like the violence or the gut wrenchingness. Yeah,
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 which
I
is
could
something
see it.
weird coming from him.
Yeah, it
He's a
is.
goofy guy.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean he's good, so I'd watch it. I mean, it says Star Wars, I'd watch it.
Right.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 has just reached over 11,000 players on Steam, breaking its all-time record peak while fans rally for Battlefront 3. This was an awesome phenomenon in the past couple of weeks. Everyone on social media has just decided that we're going to just make a push for Battlefront 3, and I am excited about it. I got into it. I put up a thing, and I just said, "Hey, if you want Battlefront 3, put Battlefront 3 in the comments." And I got like hundreds of comments. It's at like 100,000 views just because people are like, "Yes, I want Battlefront 3," and they put it in the comments. And they all decided that this past Saturday was going to be Battlefront 2 day, where we all log on to Battlefront and break the record, just so that they would know, like, to send a message like, "Hey, you have so many people that want to play Star Wars Battlefront 3. Like, you will make thousands and thousands of dollars, millions of dollars if you make Battlefront 3 and make it good." So they broke the record on Saturday, and it was so cool. I like this random movement.
Yeah, it just happens to come off of Andor, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Although I feel like I do feel like Andor, when he's talking to Jin, he's where he's like, "You've been doing this for 5 minutes. I've been doing this since I was 6 years old." And I was like,
Yeah.
I've been playing this game since it kind of came out, and I enjoyed it since then. But I'm glad other people are finally starting to see its potential.
I think they did eventually, like after the whole microtransaction thing was figured out and fixed, too late. But um I think a lot of people were playing it. It's just that they all weren't quite posting about it. Like, this was before the big, like, it came out in 2017, so it was before the big like TikTok boom, and before like there was such a strong way to connect with other people who were playing it. And so I think now it's just the people who, like you and me, who were playing it since it came out. I think they're all just like finding each other now, just like we all happened to find each other of like, oh, we were all playing the original 2005 Battlefront 2. Like, wow, that's cool. But we will talk about Star Wars Battlefront and other modern era video games later on in this podcast. So I will move on from there. We are saddened to learn that legendary art director and production designer Les Dilley has passed away at the age of 84. He won Academy Awards for Star Wars A New Hope and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and also worked on The Empire Strikes Back, Superman the movie, Alien, and many, many others. So rest in peace, Les Dilley. Happy 36th birthday, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Han Solo was in that movie, I believe.
Which is also coming for Father's Day for a re-release in theaters.
Yes, that's because that's the one where he like goes on the adventure with his dad, right? So They're doing a Father's Day theatrical thing. I'm wondering if, I guess they're piggybacking off the success of the theatrical re-releases of the Star Wars movies and stuff. I guess that's not a new thing though. Game developer who previously worked on Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, like the pandemic one, recently said that they want to get the gang back together for Battlefront 3. Yes, we want that. Do it. Happy 48th birthday, A New Hope. I hope they do something epic for the 50th in 2 years. I'm sure that'll be fantastic.
Well, Celebration will be a start.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And it's in America. I need to figure that out. I need to figure out if I can even attempt an attendance of that. It's in this country. Happy 42nd birthday, Return of the Jedi. As we said last time, May. A lot of these movies came out in May, so it's that time. Happy 7th birthday, Solo, A Star Wars Story. 7 years later, and we're still asking. I am once again asking you to make Solo 2 happen.
Yes.
Dedra and Partagaz behind the scenes. Happy 3rd birthday to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. That was the one where I was like, huh, 3 years. That was 3 years ago that I was watching that. That's crazy.
I know.
What was the last one? Oh, last but not least, happy 50th anniversary to the incredible creators at Industrial Light and Magic. 1975. Obviously they were the ones who put together the Star Wars movies back in the day. Changing our lives forever. Anyway, so that's the news. Nothing too insane there. But it's cool to see all those anniversaries and the little Battlefront tech. But speaking of history, on this day in Star Wars history, take it away, Marty.
All right, let's see. Popped up here. On this day, which is May 28th in 2007, the History Channel airs Star Wars: A Legacy Revealed, a 2-hour special that explores the historical, political, and mythological connections of the saga.
That sounds like something I want to watch. I have never heard of that till this moment.
I know, right? I mean, I see a lot of like documentary things about this, but I've never heard this one before. This
So
one
if it
sounds
came out in
interesting.
2007, that must be, I mean, do you think it includes the prequels in that? Because it came out after the prequels.
Since it says the connections of the saga, I would assume it's all 6 of George's movies.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, I've never seen that. Do you think that's on Disney Plus? I'm gonna look that up.
History Channel? Probably not.
Star Wars Legacy.
You might find it on YouTube.
2007 documentary. Where do I watch it? Where do I watch it? Watch movie. Want to watch. Oh, HD. Yep, you're right. YouTube. Hour 30. This is hour 30, I guess. 2-hour special with commercials, probably. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Star Wars
I guess
Legacy
I know what I'm gonna do at some point.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to know. Maybe we can do an episode on those things, historical, political, and mythological connections. All right.
I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's party. All right. So that was on this day in Star Wars history, and onto my much stupider segment, the dad joke of the week. Which bounty hunter likes tropical fruit the most? Mango Fett. I figured you'd get that immediately. Yeah, I thought you'd get it instantly. That's I think about Mango Fett probably once a year. Like I'm just wondering what he looks like. Anyway,
his head's like shaped like a mango.
Yeah, like is it a mango helmet? Or like is it a mango wearing a Mandalorian helmet? I don't know. We'll have to explore that. Maybe I'll get my I'm part of an AI thing that pays artists. Like it pays them commissions and it pays them to train the model. So I feel a little bit better about using that AI, and so I might use that and see what it comes up with for a mango Mangolorian. Oh my God, fire! All right, into the meat of the episode here. We're going to separate it into 2 parts. I just called it Star Wars spoofs, but it's going to be a little more than that. Marty is going to chat about some pop culture references that Star Wars that have either gained inspiration from Star Wars or spoofed Star Wars or kind of, you know what? I'm going to just let him explain it to you. So Marty, take it away.
I've been thinking, it's like we're 34 episodes in, and we haven't. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface on the culture aspect of what Star Wars means to people.
You mean on the Star Wars Culture live show? We haven't talked about the culture enough. Yeah, I think that's accurate.
So I feel like, you know what? Let's bring it to pop culture. And I see a lot of videos on my Facebook feeds here lately, especially movies like Spaceballs, which happens to be a very big influence from that was very heavily influenced from Star Wars. Written by Mel Brooks, starring a very newcomer Bill Pullman, John Candy, and Rick Moranis. It also spoofs a little bit of Indiana Jones and a few other movies, but this movie was like really the first kind. See right there? Yep. The first of its kind of being spoofed of the Star Wars franchise. And Mel Brooks literally gave the script to George Lucas, and George laughed and basically gave his seal of approval to say, "Yeah, go ahead and do it, man. Just one condition, no merchandising rights." So that's part of the joke in the movie. Is the movie is all about the franchise is all about merchandising. So you
Smart
have yogurt. Yeah. So that's why in the movie you got yogurt talking about all the merchandising stuff that you can get for Spaceballs, like Spaceballs, the breakfast cereal, Spaceballs, the lunchbox, and Spaceballs, the flamethrower. To name a few things. It's just really great. But eventually, other people, wanted to be inspired or take inspiration from Star Wars and kind of put it in their movies or TV shows and video games, and even in today's real world society. But movie wise, a few of them I'll just kind of mention, and maybe you anyone in the comments or even you, Ian, can chime in. But like, we have movies like Spaceballs. You have Back to the Future. That
Spaceballs, the flamethrower. I didn't see Spaceballs. You got to translate this for me. I'm sorry.
It's it's one of the they meet Yogurt, played by Mel Brooks, one of the two characters Mel Brooks plays. And
I assume Yogurt is Yoda.
Yeah, Yogurt. Okay. Yogurt is a spoof of Yoda, and he shows him. He's like the movie doesn't really make a whole lot of money. It's the merchandising that basically is the money behind the movie. So he names all these ridiculous items, and one of them was Spaceballs, the flamethrower, and it actually shoots flames out of it like a real flamethrower. And all throughout the movie, you'll have other like Spaceball things, like in a bathroom there was like a Spaceballs the towel or something like that. It's like it's just plastered everywhere.
That's so silly. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
So
sorry, you were listing some other stuff. You said Back to the Future, they made a Star Wars reference, right?
Yep. Where Marty goes back, Marty goes back in time, see his parents, and one of his ways to convince his dad to be on the right track is he enters into his house, puts on a radiation suit, blasts some Van Halen into his ears, and then he says, "I am Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan." So he's combining Star Wars and Star Trek.
What an infuriating sentence.
I know, right? And then later on, his dad talks to Marty. He's like, Marty, you'll never believe it. Darth Vader came into my room and he mentions this. And then Marty's like, okay, we don't want people to think you're crazy. Because you got to believe this is 1955 that they're supposed to be in. So Vader wasn't a thing.
Right. That's funny. It says in the book, he gets a message from Battlestar Galactica. Is it a Back to the Future book? Is there a book?
I'm not sure if there's a novelization of that. It wouldn't surprise me. Back then, the
was it a book first? Because I don't know anything about this. Oh, okay.
No, Back to the Future was a movie first. Originally, it was supposed to be a refrigerator that went back in time, not a DeLorean.
Oh, there's a novelization that has a lot of extra scenes that weren't in the film. Nice. Okay, cool.
Okay. And then we'll go on to movies like Clerks. You've seen Clerks, right?
Clerks? No,
they reference Star Wars, especially between Randall and Dante.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
1994 movie.
yep.
Okay.
So Randall asked, he's like, so which Star Wars sequel do you like better? Do you like Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi? And Dante's like, Empire. And he's like, and Randall's like, I forgot what he actually said after that. And Dante's like, well, it's because it had a darker ending. It's a more true ending. Like, not everyone gets a happy ending. That's more believable.
Yeah, he's not wrong. That's why I hated this is Dean knows his movies.
Blasphemy. Yes. Thank you, Dean.
Dean knows his movies. Yeah, that's why I hated, this is completely off topic. That's why I hated the ending of How I Met Your Mother, because I thank God I have a reason to use this. Just kidding. It came out in like 2012 or something. I don't remember when the last season was, in the teens, but the ending of that show is so silly, and it's like just a comfort show. But then the last season of that show went like super dark and sad, and I was like, I watched this to escape real life. Thank you very much. This is supposed to be like a funny show. But to tie it in on topic, Barney is obsessed with Star Wars, and he has a full stormtrooper costume in his house.
From what I heard, I haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, but I heard from Matthew from Ion Cannon, the first season, Barney actually has a 501st clone trooper first.
There is a clone trooper first. It doesn't look. Oh, sorry. Yeah. It is 501st. Yeah. Sorry. I thought you meant like a 501st approved thing.
No.
That's not. No. It's blue. Yeah. It's like a 501st trooper. I get you. Yeah. It's and then it changes to a stormtrooper later on, and it's like a much better costume too. Like he upgraded or something.
Well, what it was is one, it was to promote Star Wars because it came out the same time as Revenge of the Sith. So it started out in 2005, I believe.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
But with the show taking place technically before Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, I think some people kind of complained about it a little bit, so they put it back to being a stormtrooper. They're like, this is historically accurate. Yeah.
Oh, come on. So rude. Whatever. Like the clone troopers, I guess you didn't see any 501st troopers in episode 2. You saw troopers, but they were all just plain white, I guess. I feel like you saw some yellow ones.
Those were lieutenants.
Okay.
Yeah, yellow were lieutenants. You had a red that was a captain.
Oh, what a bunch of nerds. No, I get it. Also, but Barney also in that show, he makes a comment. He's like somebody said, I will puke if I, like, he's like, there's like drunk or something. I was like, I'm going to puke in the Star Wars helmet. And Barney was like, ugh, I did something worse in it after the Phantom Menace came out. I was like, come on, Barney. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah,
be cool. Final one were the troops in the single player version of the Star Wars Battlefront game. The first one, right? Like the original?
The first one, original. They weren't numbered or colored. It was just, you were just a white trooper. It was just the white ones. Trooper. But in the 501st was Battlefront 2.
Yeah, the 2005 one, it follows this. The campaign follows the story of the 501st. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done interrupting you now. Sorry, go.
You're good. Just to round out the movie sections before I move on, you got the MCU, just basically especially Phase 2. They reference Star Wars a lot. Men in Black, the worm guys.
Yeah.
They speak Huttese.
Wait, I've heard about this. Yeah, they do speak. That's what I heard about. I was like, I know something about these. Yeah, they speak Huttese. That's awesome.
And then the movie Fanboys, which is on our thumbnail. That movie is basically a dedication to Star Wars about people trying to break into Lucasfilm to watch The Phantom Menace before it actually releases. It's a road trip movie. It's one of my favorites. Like if you have nothing like really to watch, that'd be a movie to watch especially if you're a Star Wars fan, because there's a lot of Star Wars references within that, and it stars a couple of actors, Star Wars actors in it as small cameos, like Carrie Fisher and Billy D. Williams.
Really? They're in there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so I have a list of things I need to watch. Is that what's it rated? Fanboys rated PG-13.
think
Okay, Fanboys rated
PG-13.
PG-13. I was surprised by this. What's it called? The other one that what was the other one we just were talking about with Dark
Spaceballs?
Helmet? Spaceballs. That's actually rated PG.
Well, it came out in the 80s. There wasn't really a PG-13 rating. And you get
Fair.
one F-bomb
Okay.
in that movie. So
Okay. All right. Fair. All right. So I'll have to warn the kids about it. Speaking of the MCU, the scene that I remember is that Peter Parker builds a Lego Death Star with Ned.
yeah.
Peter Parker is the one making all the Star Wars references. I remember in Civil War, he's like, remember that really old movie, The Empire Strikes Back? And then they like wrap up Ant-Man when he's all big.
Yeah. One of the movies that Captain America is suggested to watch was Star Wars. It said Star Wars.
Yes, it's on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did see it, which is important.
Yes.
I hope someone like told him how to watch them, like, you know, the right order, because maybe he looked up our articles about that.
Maybe. But now I'm going to move on to television, where I feel like they really got to get nitty gritty into it a little bit, such as where the spoof definitely comes in. I'm talking Family Guy. They reference it within their original show through the season, but they also have 3 movies, which they call, it actually has a trilogy name called the Laugh It Up Fuzzball Trilogy.
I did not know that.
Yep. So it's basically their Peter's retelling of all 3 of the original movies, and I like at the ending of Return of the end of the Return of the Jedi one, Chris is like, now do the prequel trilogy, and then Peter's like, no, we're gonna let American Dad do that one.
No. He said Cleveland Show. He said, pretty sure the Cleveland Show is going to do that one.
Was it Cleveland?
Yeah.
It was one of the 2. I was like,
I promise I have not seen Fanboys or Spaceballs, but I have seen most episodes of Family Guy about 20 times. I'm not proud of it. It's just how life happened.
I kind of quit Family Guy after a while. Like,
it's not good anymore, but I'm still watching it. I can't explain it.
I'm more into American Dad now. More and more into American Dad.
That's good. That's a good show too.
It is. The Simpsons, they have a lot of Star Wars references within it, especially since they're both also, like Family Guy, 20th Century Fox. So you'll have a lot of references brought up in there.
And they were around. I mean, Simpsons were around for a lot of the life of Star Wars, right? When did they start coming out? 90s, I guess.
The early 90s was the technical series run, but they were also on the Carol Burnett show, late 80s, early 90s for that.
Okay.
We got the Robot Chicken specials. There's 3 specials of those. You gotta watch those. Those are hilarious.
They are goofy.
My favorite one's the one where Palpatine's on the phone with Vader. Like, who's they? What the hell's an aluminum falcon?
It's so funny. I'll bring that up. Hold on.
And it's also funny to know that Zac Efron is Anakin Skywalker in all 3 of these. So if you hear if it's Anakin Skywalker, that's Zac Efron. That's kind of funny knowledge right there.
Yeah, why does that fit?
I don't know, but it does. I was like, that voice sounds familiar. I had to Google it once, and it was him.
That's so random, yeah.
And then the nerd boy as the Tauntaun for George Lucas was definitely hilarious. Yeah, these guys are just nuts. Which after the 3rd one of these, they actually had the idea / permission from George to create a spoof series of its own called Star Wars Detours. They had 12 episodes already put together. It just needed to air. But by the time they were getting ready to air it, George sold the company. and Disney shut it down.
Okay, so that's why I've never heard of Star Wars Detours.
You could actually catch clips and a little bit of a trailer on YouTube. So
okay,
I recommend watching those little clips. You'll be like, man, this needs to be a show now. You got episodes in the vault. Bring them out.
I do like how George Lucas was just saying yes to all these people. Just like he's like, yeah, go ahead and make your parody. I keep all the merchandising rights. And he's like, oh yeah, like exactly. Family Guy, sure. Or yeah, Robot Chicken, sure. I want to see what you can do with it. Like he's just chill. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's in a
2
way he
whole
feels like
seasons
it's an honor.
all made, ready to go.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they were ready to go. They're acted, completed. They're sitting in the vault.
Yeah, just let them leak. Let them leak out onto YouTube.
Seriously,
we won't tell anybody. I swear.
And another one I have listed here randomly is Phineas and Ferb. They actually have their own Star Wars special.
I keep seeing that on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so I haven't watched it myself, but I might take a look at it. I've seen people comment and actually like it. I like their Marvel one.
Have you seen? So you've seen Phineas and Ferb stuff before?
Yeah, I used to like that show when it came on. I used to sing the theme song to it every time it came on. One of those earworms.
Yep, I missed that one. I don't know why. I never got into that one. Wasn't on purpose.
I think it was just around that time where it's like you're just transitioning to something else.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to move on to video games. I'm not going to step on your territory here, but it's just like video games that reference Star Wars or have something to do with Star Wars. I'm going to start off with The Sims 4. The Journey to Batuu. They got that.
What? I have never heard of this.
It's a DLC pack that you could buy, so you could actually walk around Batuu. Like Galaxy's Edge. It's set up exactly the way it is.
What the
dress up as Star Wars characters. Right and you could talk to Kylo Ren and he will talk to you in Simlish.
What? Look at this. What is this? How have I never heard of this? I never played Sims 4. I think I played whatever Sims with my girlfriend in college. We played Sims together. Whatever was out in 2000. This is so funny. Look at that. It's Kylo Ren.
So you got to have the base game, which luckily the base game's free because it's been out for forever. So all you got to do is just pay for the Journey to Batuu DLC. I'm sure it's like $10 awesome. Maybe.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But I got to give it up to the next two on my list. I'm gonna give it up to Soul Calibur 4. That came out that came out for the PS3 and Xbox 360. There they have DLC characters where you can play as Darth Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller. Because it was around that time, I guess. So technically, it'd be 2008. That's how Starkiller got into it.
Okay.
Yoda used to be, I think, and I might be wrong. Dean, I hope you're listening and you can help me with this. Yoda, I think, was a PS3 exclusive.
I see him on a 360 exclusive. I see him on an Xbox 360 cover. Hold on. This tiny cover right here.
Okay, so I think those might be the exclusives, but I think eventually they came to being completely part of the set for both versions.
Wow.
And Starkiller, I think you can get for both of them as well.
Oh, here we go.
It was pretty interesting.
Does this look familiar?
Yeah.
Reddit? I don't know. Wow.
It just looks crazy. Like they went into the files of like Force Unleashed 1 and 2 and just copy the graphics over because Vader looks exactly like that. And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Are you serious right now?
But it actually has Darth Maul in it as a playable character.
What? Tony Hawk 3 Darth Maul. Are you serious right now?
And I think his board is a hoverboard.
What? What is happening? Hold on. Oh, which screenshot do I? Oh my! What is happening right now? This is so exciting. What?
Now it's only for the original. I'm not sure. I don't think they have it for the remake that came out recently.
Look at this.
Yeah, there you go.
What is this? That's incredible. I had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for PS1. I never got the third one. I didn't have a PS2 until much later.
I think this was PS1 as well. I think it was number 4 that was the first one for PS2. But so you had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. You would have had Spider-Man as your unlockable character.
I did have Spider-Man. Force grab. You can force grab the skateboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how underneath the board it's his face as well.
Look at him grinding. Yeah. Oh yeah, here. Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
that was not on my list of predictions for what you were going to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like back then, especially during the George era, it was especially mid to late 90s to early 2000s. George was just like, I don't care, just do whatever you want. I get some of this credit anyway.
I'm good. I got what I need. Like I'm sure he was set from all the merchandising, everything from just the original trilogy. So why not?
And moving on, Fallout New Vegas, they have an Easter egg. For people who have played it, or if you are playing it, if you go to Nipton, there are 2 burnt bodies that are displayed like Owen and Baru.
Oh, that's funny. All right, I can't see. I'm not finding anything on a quick search, but
it's probably
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah.
There we are. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, there they are. R.I.P. I saw a funny meme. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna go on to like how we also have, Star Wars Angry Birds. We got Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. Like they're collaborating with a lot of things that people want to have the name Star Wars involved in some way, somehow. Either it be direct, like a lot of these games, or be a little discreet and as a secret Easter egg, like the Fallout one.
Yep. Those came up. Some of those came up on my list search when I was deciding what video games to talk about. I saw Star Wars Angry Birds and I was like, oh yeah, it is a thing. Forgot.
And I'm gonna move on to the real world. I'm gonna move on just to do a couple things, and we'll switch over to you. But we have do a quick run. We have in the real world, in the Ukraine, there used to be a statue of Vladimir Lenin. In 2015, they modified it and adjusted it to make it look like Darth Vader. So they have a Darth Vader statue in the Ukraine. There's also a real life religion called Jediism.
I knew that.
And it's basically it follows a modified version of the Jedi Code.
Yep. Here's that statue, by the way.
I like that statue. Like
I don't have no notes. So it's a religion. You said it modified Jedi Code, kind of.
Yep. Apparently, there's a petition in Turkey to build a real Jedi temple within a university there.
That would be awesome, but they better make it look
Right.
awesome. It better not just be like
and apparently
a normal building.
Yeah, seriously. And apparently, though, people around the world, when the Census Bureau comes around and tells you, fill out your census forms and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a place for religion. A lot of people have been putting Jedi down
I love
as
that.
their religion.
I want to know do you have how many? Because I want to know how many.
It does not tell me from what I saw.
All right.
And then the last, just quick run throughs of real world things is you have, our special holidays like May the 4th or Life Day. You also got, your sports teams that they'll do Star Wars night. Well, they'll dress up and they have like a little bit of Star Wars on their uniforms. You can go
They'll
out
have
to
the
ballpark.
501st come to their games and take photos.
And then last but not least, you have everybody's go-to place, Disney World, where they have, or Disneyland, depending where you're at, you got Galaxy's Edge. What more way to be influenced by Star Wars than building your own theme park?
That's a pretty, I guess it's a little cross-pollination because they own Star Wars. So it's
it's true.
Yeah, a little less that they're being influenced and more that they want to sell their own product.
I feel like maybe if we went before George sold Star Wars to Disney, there was a lot of Star Wars Star Wars things going on there. Like you had the Star Wars dance-off competition,
and you had you still had Star Tours, and you have there was still that Star Wars building, right? I think like the one with all the artifacts in it. That might not have been before the sale.
No. You had Padawan training. So like your little kids could go out there and train with those flick wrist lightsabers and learn some forms of lightsaber training.
Love it. Yeah, that's great. I want to go to Galaxy's Edge.
I know, I do too. I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge. I want to go. It's on my list.
Yeah, you gotta go. Gotta go.
It's on my list, man.
Just make sure you budget more time than you think, because you're gonna want to just hang out there.
Right.
Get into Olga's.
But that's all I got really for pop culture. It's kind of a short list of rundowns, although it took a lot of time. But there's a lot of things that were influenced by Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Those are just things that I found and remembered. Like, oh yeah, they did Star Wars stuff like this. This is how they paid tribute to Star Wars, where Star Wars somehow gets mentioned into it.
Oh yeah, it's so famous and pervasive now that there's no way to list every show or movie that makes a Star Wars reference or has a line talking about Star Wars. Everyone knows what it is, even if they don't know much about it. It's very much a household thing. But yeah, my tiny contribution to this pop culture discussion was I wanted to just talk a little bit. I was gonna originally do like a rundown of all Star Wars video games, but I decided to, after briefly looking at the lists, I was like, I cannot do all of this in one episode. So I wanted to just chop it down and just talk about like the modern era. These are like the most modern games, the most recent games, that are still relevant, that people are playing. And obviously there are classics that people are still playing. Like I will pop in Jedi Power Battles on the Switch, which just got re-released for the Switch. It's awesome. Or I know people still get a kick out of the old Star Wars Battlefront 2. Those are classics. We'll go into those a different day. But now this is just for the more modern era of Star Wars video games. So the most obvious one is Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's still, obviously, we talked about it in the news segment. It's still being played heavily today. A very dedicated core group of players. I still play this with my friends sometimes. We're on the Helldivers 2 train right now. I talked about that last episode, but we still pop in like for May the 4th, and we still pop into here sometimes. There's that Geonosis mission, man. It is tough, and we've done it, but like it is hard as hell to beat that last command post. But you see, like they made a co-op version. Like they made a co-op. Like it's the same as the multiplayer missions, but they made a co-op variant of it, so that you can go in with 3 other people and do a co-op mission against the enemy, and you have to do command posts. And there's like you have other troopers on your side too, but that's what I do the most. But I know the heroes versus villains is very popular. You get people who get really, really good with certain heroes and villains. And there are space battles. That I used to do those a lot. There's just a lot. Oh, there's a campaign. There's Ewok hunt. Your stormtroopers versus Ewoks, and it's terrifying for the stormtroopers because they sneak around and they throw spears at you, and you hear them singing in the night. It's terrifying. But there's so much here that's still very good. The first one too, I think there's just the first one was kind of built not knowing how sweaty people were going to get at the game. So every single the Battlefront that came out in 2015 was just, if you go on and play that, I don't even know if the servers are supported now, but if you go on and play there now, there's just always one guy he knows how to move around and without getting hit, and just how to break the game essentially. But it was very fun. The graphics are very good. So both of these games are still very relevant today, and you can see why people want a Battlefront 3. It's just like, hey, this is awesome, but there's so many characters that we wish we could play, like the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all these characters, people from Andor. Like there's just so many potential heroes and villains and other stories that could be explored that we would love to see a Battlefront 3. Anyway, moving on. Star Wars Outlaws is very popular. It kind of hit it got a slow start at launch, but I have not played the game. I just the long RPGs, the long single player things is not what I can really do with my current lifestyle. I get like 30 to 40 minutes at once, and if you can't save all the time, maybe in this one you can, I don't know. But so I have not played this, but from what I've gathered, people really like the game now, and they didn't like it at launch. And I am my guess is that there were a few loud YouTubers at launch that really didn't like it and got people off of it. But then as they have updated things and released some DLC, maybe people are like, oh, this is kind of good. I slept on this.
Yeah.
And of course, it gave us Kessel Sabak, which has evolved into an app, and that app has expanded into the Sabak Cantina, which I almost made my fun fact today that I have a tournament coming up next, whatever June 7th is. Is that a Friday? Saturday? Friday?
Saturday?
I think it's a Saturday. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But anyway, it gave us Kessel Sabak. It's what we liked about the Star Wars underworld. This is Star Wars Outlaws is given us, and I know the Reddit community is very active. I think there's plenty of people playing this right now.
I have it, and I enjoy playing it. I got it for PC, but I'm playing it through Amazon Luna.
Okay.
So if you're a Prime member, you could play it that way. It's like cloud-based gaming. But yeah, so it is a fun game. It is very time crunchy. Like you got to put a lot of time into this game.
Okay.
Like I'm still probably in like 20% of the game, and I feel like I've done a whole lot already.
That's awesome. I mean, that's good. It's like that means there's tons of content. Like that's not, I guess that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and they released 2 story DLCs, one focusing on Lando and the other one's on Hondo.
Love that.
With the most recent one with Hondo, though, they finally allowed you to actually shoot while you're driving your speeder bike.
Oh, you couldn't do that before?
Before it was more like you had to wait for like your, I'm gonna call it Deadeye, where you could slow down time, pick your targets, and shoot, kind of like in Red Dead, if you played that game.
Okay.
It was kind of like that. That's the only time you could shoot while you're riding your bike. But now they fixed it where you could freely aim, which is nice because it's about friggin' time. Because I'm tired of doing donuts around these people chasing me just to shoot them.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay, cool. That's great. Yeah, that sounds like it sounds like maybe they listened to the community on that, and so they updated that for you guys who needed that. So that's cool. That's good stuff. Also in the land of solo RPGs, we have Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Both I haven't played these. I started Jedi Fallen Order. But again, just it's the time factor. And at least in Jedi Fallen Order, I don't know about Survivor, but in Jedi Fallen Order, you cannot save unless you find a save point. And sometimes it's like 30 to 45 minutes before you find the next one. I hate that. Just let me save the game. I am listening to a baby monitor. I might have to just put it down at some point. Just let me save. Let me go into the menu and save when I need to save. It's my biggest pet peeve about many games coming out now. But anyway,
Survivors
it is
like
very
that.
cool.
Survivors like that.
Sorry, yeah. Survivors like that too.
Survivors like that. But luckily, Outlaws, you could save it whenever.
Good. They fixed that. Good. Is that EA or is that a different game?
No,
that's a different company.
it's
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Yeah. Ubisoft, you know what you're doing. EA, go to hell. But don't. Like it was Battlefront 3 or go to hell. But yeah, they're both good games. I love the stories. I love Cal Kestis as a character. I love the lightsaber. It's on my list of lightsabers that I would want. Speaking of lightsabers, it's telling me we're almost at an hour. But great story, great gameplay. I love the lightsaber. It's the best lightsaber action since the Force Unleashed and the Force Unleashed 2. Want to quickly touch on Star Wars Squadrons. This one blew up for a little bit in 2020, 2021. But then the dev support just ended. Like they supported it for a year and made some balances and fixes. And after that, they were just like, yeah, we're done. But I believe I mentioned this before on the podcast. I used to be on a competitive Star Wars Squadrons team. We placed when I was there. I wasn't on the team when they won. Oh no. Let's start the camera back up. Okay. I just pressed start camera again and it worked. So but we definitely won some cash prizes. We placed in some global tournaments, which was super fun. I was mostly TIE bomber. I would go in and bomb the objective and take the shields down and all kinds of stuff. But that's really great for if you have VR. This is just the greatest game. If you have VR, like combining VR and a throttle, like a joystick, instead of like a controller or keyboard. If you have that setup going on, I can't think of any comparable. It's like must feel like you are flying in an X-wing or a TIE fighter. Like it I'm sure was fantastic. I want to touch on some other platforms real quick. On PlayStation VR, there's Vader Immortal. I've seen clips of this. It is absolutely brutal. So that looks fun. You can do crazy stuff with a lightsaber. And then Galaxy of Heroes on mobile. I know a few people who play this game. It's I always see ads for the newest like unlockable heroes and stuff. I've never played it, but I think it's probably a fun Star Wars game for nowadays on your phone or other device. And then last but not least, RIP Star Wars Hunters. This came out and I heard a lot of fun things about it, but I guess it's going away in October. I think it lost support. I guess it didn't do well enough, or I don't know, maybe didn't. I don't know what type of game it was, or if it was supposed to compete with Galaxy of Heroes, or if it was just supposed to be something different. But I guess it didn't do well enough for them to keep it around because I think it's going to leave the store.
Microtransactions, I believe, killed it.
Oh my God, every single time. Why won't you learn?
Because there's some characters like that bounty hunter in the front right there. You actually have to pay for him and to play him.
Why? Come on. Let me do my thing without paying more. Like, I'm sure the game costs money too, right? Like, to download it.
Nope, it's free to play.
Oh, okay. So that's why. All right. Unfortunate. Yeah, can't be doing those microtransaction things. The vibe looks cool though. Like, there's a
It,
that's a
it's a fun game.
That's a droid eco with a little guy on it. Is that what I'm seeing there?
Yep, the little Ugnaught.
That's fun. So
I
yeah.
like to play
Anyway.
as a stormtrooper.
Oh, do you? Nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of game is it? Is it like a 1v1 or like a multiplayer? What's it? What happens?
It's kind of like team based. Like you'll have team deathmatch, or you'll have capture the flag.
Oh, okay.
Command post.
All right. So it's like, all right, I got it. Vibe, like a small team versus small team kind of
Yeah,
deal.
it's
All right.
except the graphics kind of remind me of, like, as if Battlefront and Fortnite had a baby, and kind of.
Okay, cool.
I feel like that'd be the way to put it.
I feel like Fortnite right now is if Battlefront and Fortnite had a baby, because we see all the Star Wars characters running around. But yeah, so that was a little rundown of like the modern era of Star Wars video games. Of course, there are classics that people still play. I will touch on those some other day. But for now, we're going to move on to our last segment, which is Star Wars trivia. So usually the question is about something we've talked about this episode, but there's no show coming out, so I'm not sure what this question is going to be about. So, Marty, take us away.
All right, this one really last minute, but I kind of had the thought in my head, but this is last minute put together, so I hopefully it works out. But the question is, which Star Wars actor had a cameo in season 10, episode 9 of The Simpsons titled Mayor to the Mob? Is it A, Harrison Ford, B, Mark Hamill, C, Billy D. Williams, or D, Carrie Fisher?
Oh, God. All right, so I have no idea. Mayored to the Mob. Season 10 of The Simpsons would be it would be back. So Carrie Fisher is definitely still alive during this. I want to say Carrie Fisher just because I know that she did a bunch of cameos in other things. Like, I know she did a cameo in what's that show? The Nerd Show. The
Big Bang Theory?
The whole universe. Yeah, Big Bang Theory. She and James Earl Jones had cameos in that show. So my guess is going to be Carrie Fisher.
Before I give you the answer, I would just say I did mention Carrie Fisher did have a cameo in Fanboys. She also had a cameo in Scream 3, where she kind of plays a different character. But yeah, except this character is like in charge of like some kind of film archives, and she mentioned that she used to be an actress who auditioned for Star Wars but lost the part to somebody because she didn't sleep with the director.
Oh my God. I know she also played a whole ass character on Family Guy. She played Angela, Peter's boss on Family Guy.
I remember her.
So she's no stranger to voice acting. That's why my guess, I guess Mark Hamill isn't either, but my guess is Carrie Fisher.
It was Mark Hamill.
Damn, I knew it. As soon as I said that at the end, I was like,
yeah, he plays himself. It's basically a comic convention comes to Springfield, and Mark Hamill is one of the big main attractions.
of course he is.
At the end of the episode, Homer has to save Mark Hamill from the mob of nerds who try to swarm him because Homer didn't really care for Star Wars, I believe. So it was easy for him to be like, yeah, you're just a regular guy. You're dressed up as a nerd for all these other nerds.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's awesome. That I know Mark Hamill also played the Joker in an animated series. How many did you get right?
I changed that. I guess it didn't save.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
I know he played the Joker on the Batman series, so he's also no stranger to voice acting, but I guess you don't really also have to really be used to voice acting to play yourself either. So
Right.
that's
He's also my favorite, one of my favorite animated series. He was Firelord Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wait a minute. He was
Zuko's dad, Firelord
Zuko's
Ozai.
dad in the animated version of what?
Yep.
All right.
Now you're gonna go back and watch it. Like, oh yeah, I hear
yes,
it now.
I do. I didn't catch that at all. We watched the animated series before we knew a live action series was coming out. We watched the animated series because we'd seen some of it, but we didn't see a lot of it. So we watched it so that we'd know what was happening. But
yeah,
wow,
that show's one of my comfort shows.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well, that's our show. We hope you enjoy what we're doing here. We know Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get dark and toxic, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. Again, if you have anything for us, questions, requests, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. Don't forget to follow us at SW Culture Live and follow me at Nerdiest Stepdad and follow Marty at Marty21794. Check out his Yoda impressions on TikTok. But for now, we will not see you next week because he's on vacation and I am going to my kiddos theater thing. So we will see you in 2 weeks, possibly with a guest. Not sure if that's going to pan out just yet or maybe a little later. But until then, have a good night and may the Force be with you.